Hello everyone, this is Princess here, and for this video we are going to talk a bit about the next burst and force, the returning burst, and Transcendence 10. So the returning burst is going to be for Exdeath, and then the new burst and the force is going to be for Sherlotta. So let's get started. So Sherlotta's force weapon is called the Gothic Ribbon, which grants the force skill Crystal Dice. Her force partner is going to be with Kate Sith. This raises party's brave based on max brave, sets all enemies brave to 0 unless they are broken, and then does a 6-hit AoE brave split HP attack dealt 3 times, but this does not increase Relic Staff's brave accumulation. So going to the HP damage bonus, you get 10% at the start, 20% when a party member uses a changed brave or HP attack. This does also count for HP plus and Brave Plus as well, and then 10% when Sherlotta recovers Brave to the party, except for herself. So then for the burst weapon, we have the Imperial Ribbon, which grants the finishing burst Final Crystal Core. So this raises Brave based on 1000% of attack, and then deals an AoE split HP attack. So the burst effect is 10 turns, and it is party-wide, so it raises the party's gained max Brave overflow, their HP damage, their Brave gains, and it adds a Brave regen based on attack every turn. So when you when dealing a Brave hit, it raises Brave based on max Brave per hit. And then for the 2 out of 3 on the Burst Plus, it adds a party Brave gain and a party max Brave cap. So for Exdeath's Burst Plus, at 2 out of 3, his burst effect gets improved and is extended to 6 turns. So it adds an all enemies HP poison based on 300% of Exdeath's attack. It adds a party attack up, an HP damage cap up, and a party max Brave cap up. So for Transcendence, because Shinryu is a thing now and Lufenia Plus isn't, it's going to be pretty much the same as it was before. So like the left and right gates are going to be Lufenia, but the middle gate is going to be Shinryu now. So for the left gate, you're going to be fighting 2 Rage Gators. You fought these in Guy's event and in his Lost Chapter. So for the orb requirement, it's increasing Brave to all allies in 1 skill, but this doesn't count the Brave gains from counters or from enemy turns. So Sherlotta obviously fills this one out, and you are going to need a yellow crystal for this, which of course is for Sherlotta, but anyone else can do. So then for the right gate, you have 2 Astaroths, and I swear you're always fighting these things if Exdeath is involved. So for the right gate, you are also going to need a blue crystal, which is what Exdeath has. The orb requirement for this one is to inflict 2 or more debuffs in 1 turn. So it doesn't have to be Exdeath, it can be any other debuffer, like maybe Kefka, Orin, or I guess even Yuffie too. And like, if you can bring him as a call, then that's even better. So then for the middle gate, you're going to be fighting the Disaster Machine. It's a machine type enemy, and it will, well, first off, it is also immune to debuffs that prevent action, so you can't use Calm's burst effect for this. And the way how I like to describe this tier 10's middle gate is it's a mix of tier 5 and tier 6's gimmicks. So like with tier 5, it's going to summon 2 adds, and you have to get them below 50% before the boss reaches its threshold. If you do not, then the adds will just instantly kill you. So you want to make sure that you're distributing out your HP damage. And then for the tier 6 gimmicks, so it's mentioned right over here, it gains the following effects while afflicted with indicated number of debuffs or fewer. So if you just have 1, they get like a huge Brave HP damage reduction. Having 4 or fewer raises the Brave and HP damage dealt. 6 means that they can start turn warping after you get a turn. And then with 7, it just raises their attack, defense, or speed. So you want to have a debuffer for this fight. So then also for their force time, for their force skill, it's going to be for 5, they get force time for 5 turns, and it's just like a standard AoE magic HP attack. It's not guaranteed or ignores defense, so you don't have to worry too much about it like you did with the previous Shinryu. But other than that, they don't have a whole lot of like dangerous attacks on them. But there is like one other thing. So right over here where it says repairing, they start having this HP sap on the field, so you start losing HP, and they can also restore their own HP. And if I remember, this was like when they get to I want to say like either 39 or 29% HP, and then that's when the starts. So it's not really hard, but it is annoying. So for their force weakness, it's just using a non-elemental magic force and then entering force time. So if you had someone like Terra, then she can also work for this. But for the force gauge itself, so at 1 out of 5, it raises, the boss raises their defense, brave damage, and brave damage resist by 20%. And then at 2 out of 5, all the way to max, the defense and damage resistance increases by 40%. And then for the force time itself, so when they are in force time, they get 2 things. So all brave damage gets reduced by 100%, so you're just going to deal 1 damage. And they also have a 10% HP sap. So that's pretty much all that there is to it. If you have HP regen or debuffs either as a call or in the party, then you should be totally fine for this. And as long as you're like distributing your HP damage before the boss reaches his threshold, then you shouldn't have to worry about anything. So with that being said, I'm going to head over to JP now, and I'm going to showcase Sherlotta's force. I will be right back. Alright, so we're back on JP now. So here is Crystal Dice. And yeah, if you did hear that, Sherlotta did do a little laugh, so that was pretty funny. So now I'm just going to skip ahead to when it's Sherlotta's turn again, just to show the force time. So one of the things about Sherlotta is that because like her S1 is like instant turn rate, you can essentially make her, what's the word I'm looking for? You can make her a force charger. That's what I was trying to say. And there we go. So that's pretty much the force that's the damage requirements in her force. The HP damage bonus in her force. I cannot talk, I'm sorry. So that is going to be it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. Let me know if you will be pulling for Sherlotta or for Exdeath, and I will see you all next time.